I think the thing is, if someone I would like but everyone was like, oh, this is, for other people.
Hello, just to say if you're with us right now, you are waiting on the stream for AUC of the Netherlands versus PUC of France. Just in the warm-up stage, both teams with a loss so far and hoping for a win to see them more favourably into the latter part of the tournament. You join us at the European Masters Ultimate Club Championship 2024. See some little scrimmaging between the teams. We are in Pool A today with Ultimate from Belgium having won both their games against these two teams. So these teams are battling out for second and third. The way the tournament works is that there is 9 teams, 3 initial pools, then 3 power pools made of the top, second and third of each team. And if these teams want a chance at the medals, they will need to come second in this pool and then win that lower power pool to make it into the 1 to 4 bracket. So a lot on the line here. We see the pre-huddle that can often occur at tournaments at this level. Teams will discuss in spirit any good things to discuss are maybe, if they've had feedback from previous games, often mixed. You may discuss any types of contact level. You may discuss, particularly at this type of tournament, any language issues that people may occur and, whether you'll need a translator, although it's unlikely to be the case for teams between France and Netherlands. The scores on the doors as they were AUC had a sudden death loss against Ultimate, 13-12. PUC a little bit more of a loss at 15-8. As such, from those you may say AUC are the favourites, although I believe they played their game more recently, so PUC have a bit of a rest. To clarify, PUC is the Parisian team from France. It looks like they are in blue. AUC are the Amsterdam team from the Netherlands. I believe they just stand for Parisian Ultimate Club. In fact, I know that the club team version of this often go by AOPUC. But I'll just be calling them PUC and AUC for this game, unless I hear differently. My name is Harry Mason, and I'll be taking you through this game, due to start actually right about now. It will be a game with a 70-minute cap, with a 35-minute halftime cap, 15-point cap, 2 timeouts per team per half, as the VEO camera tries its best to get the Spirit Huddle in the frame. Again, if you are joining us, this is the start of the game between AUC and PUC. If you're not used to it, there is a tradition where there is a Spirit Huddle at the start of games, where teams can set the tone they want early in the game, just increase communication, make sure everyone's aware who the Spirit Captain is. I believe we saw a little hand in the air then, just to sort of show that if they have any issues, who they should be talking to. You join us here in Vienna. It is 4:05 in the afternoon local time. Apparently quite a hot day as well. We will be dealing with the multiple lions on the field, but they do show us progression quite nicely. I will be keeping a small eye on the chat as well. So let me know if you have any comments there. As a reminder, you'll be watching this via the live.ultimatefederation.eu website. It is €4 for this game, or €12 for a package for the entire weekend. This is the Masters division in mixed. So players, male matching players need to have turned 33 within the year of the tournament. Female matching players need to have turned 30 within the year of the tournament. And it looks like we do indeed have Amsterdam in the white, Paris in the blue. Score is currently 0-0. Things about to get ready in the game. From the looks of it, AUC have the slightly bigger roster here, although it's always a question from how many people listed on the site will actually be actively involved in the game. And we see the pool goes up, and PUC are starting on offense. This out a nice deep stack in order to gain yards, but a slightly low flick causes the turn. And so we have Stephen Chang for Amsterdam picking up the disc. Vertical stack in the end zone, flick, but turned. Nice little block there for Diola Injai. I believe as well a redemption block. See Vuong on the disc. Herman swinging inside. We can see a quite deep horizontal stack here. Nice swinging across the disc from PUC. Oh, and slight misconnection on that inside flick. causing a turn. Amsterdam in a far less favourable position here than they were on the last turn. Disc is sent up the sideline and big. Both players under it. I believe one with the pressure D there for Paris, but there's been a pick up the field. A little bit of a pause in my stream here. Apologies. Apologies here. Don't quite know if it's global or not. There's appears to be just a little bit of connection issues. As a reminder, you join us for AUC versus PUC. That is Amsterdam versus Paris. Amsterdam in the white, Paris in the blue. It's 0-0 with 2 turnovers apiece here as the game paused. Not much to bring you on, but I will keep an eye on the live scores as well, so hopefully the stream will return shortly, and in the meantime I will update you on any updates as I see them. Just to say, we are still with you here with the AUC versus PUC game. A small update that we will be rejoining the action very shortly with Paris 1-0 up. Horthaman with a goal to Edwin Grappin.
say female matching players no unders and watched 7 passes in a row go to an open under female matching player. Can't happen, right? If it's no unders,
it's always good to get a little bit of intel on the commentary. I just heard the phrase 7 underpasses in a row, which tells you the type of offense that just occurred. There were quite a few turnovers in that first possession as well, so we will see whether Paris can be a little bit stronger here. As we see the pull go up, we are on a point with 4 female matching players, and so it's a female matching puller. We see Amsterdam here getting a couple passes of flow. Nice big shot by Casey Guo. Big diagonal up the field. Seems to have transitioned to more of an end zone play. There's people right at the back of the end zone, but they're still a good few meters out. They take the shot though. Taken down. There's people there with goals signals in the air, but we will have a second to confirm that. And it looks like the goal will stand. I believe that makes the score 1-1 with Arne Spolestra throwing to Xenia Videnko. As a reminder, you join us here at the European Masters Ultimate Club Championships. We are still in the first pool stage. Both these two teams with a loss, and so fighting desperately for that crucial second place in the pool that would see them enter the middle power pool, and thus still having a chance at top 4 as we see the pool go up from Amsterdam in the white. Bit of a split stack here occurring from Paris. From PUC, unfortunately unable to get out these first passes, and so that initial structure has been lost. A big throw goes up. It's a lot of flow. I don't think the receivers were expecting it, but they take it down anyway. Lovely, lovely touch on that throw, letting it hang in the air. Tazio Torrieri to Julien Gabriel to make it 2 to PUC in the blue, 1 to AUC in the white. That's 2 to Paris in the blue, 1 to Amsterdam in the white. So with PUC and AUC being somewhat similar names, I will try to use a lot of both team names as we go. We now go back to the other point of ABBA, which is now we have for male matching players for 2 points. For those unaware, because the system has changed, we are watching the Masters division. Although not too recently. We tend to ABBA for gender is the rule, which means you do female matching players with 4, then male matching for 2, and then 2 for the other gender, then 2 for the other. It sort of neutralises any wind or other advantage that may come. Some nice little flow from AUC initially. Peter Van Huysen. Taking a shot back. Disc goes up big again. Receiver's not necessarily expecting it. And well dealt with by PUC. Very well taken down. You can see a little bit of dribbling and then Nice throw. Wide out in space, though, on this side. Using the horizontal areas of the pitch nicely to then gain those forward passes. Oh, but a low disc. Unable to be salvaged, and so EMUCC in Amsterdam and the white will get another chance to hold. High release play backhand. Big shot goes up. This time the receiver's more aware of it. It's more in space. They can run it down. What a lovely flick huck that was. That's Peter Van Huysen throwing to Stephanie Berthet. That will equal us up at 2 goals apiece here between PUC, Paris of France, in the blue, or EMUCC, the Amsterdam Ultimate Club of the Netherlands, in the white. Big chance for a break there from PUC. Just a little bit of a low forehand shot. Unkindly called a floorhand by some. Causing the turn. A little bit of an unforced error. But then again, I think alternatively, EMUCC had to turn themselves, try to do a big shot. The receiver wasn't necessarily aware it was coming. We've seen some big use of that deep space so far. You do wonder, are we going to see more of that as the pull goes up deep and is fumbled? Very unfortunate there. That means EMUCC will get the disc right on the PUC end zone. Amsterdam versus Paris. And it was fumbled a little bit again. Not the cleanest of points. But Stephen Chang managing to get a disc into Jennifer Joyner's chest somehow eventually. And that will be a break for Amsterdam. This puts EMUCC Amsterdam in the white at a 3-2 advantage over PUC Paris in the blue. It's one of those things, you want the receiver to attack the disc, you want them to catch it. If we look at the shadows, you can see that disc did very likely come right out of the sun on that pull as well. Maybe an extra factor we need to consider. Shadows lengthening, meaning the sun's probably quite low, but also then quite in the eyes as well. We are back to the female matching points with 4 female matching and 3 female matching players. Good pull from Amsterdam. Paris unable to get any additional yards before the defense are there. We can see the force there coming right around. Just trying to stop the throw to the handler. Oh, it's floaty up the field, but that'll gain some yards with momentum. The shot to the end zone was potentially on, but Paris wanting to take a safer shot, opting instead for the reset here. There's a pick call, and Julian Gabriel will have the disc for Paris. Always fun to hear a no around call from the sideline, and the around shot is instantly taken. Ford Herman with a lovely around break. Very low release. Adele Palalio a little bit stuck here, wants to take the shot to the end zone. And maybe forces it where it shouldn't have come. Tried to do an inside flick and it was just behind the receiver. Amsterdam now with a chance. Put another It's 3-2. The disc goes up to the end zone, but it's trailing the wrong way, sadly. You can hear a little bit of wind coming over the microphones as well. As Paris will get another chance. And a timeout is taken. Quite an early timeout. It is 3 to Amsterdam, 2 to Paris. Maybe sign of the heat. Maybe it was that early break. They just want to ensure this goal goes in. But timeout there from PUC Paris in the blue. We hear the whistle from one of the erstwhile volunteers, signalling end of timeout, and so players have to get back. Neither team breaking the timeout before needed, so both teams want to take as much time as possible to talk about the situation. It can be quite risky to take a timeout when you're on the corner of your own end zone. It'd be interesting if Amsterdam set up with a special defense here, as Paris set up in a horizontal stack. Looks like they're keeping with a fairly honest match defense, notably on the close side. They appear to be just watching for the deep shots. That's managed to get a discount and then do take a deep shot. Doesn't quite come off. I believe that was Julien Gabriel with the turn. It was interesting to see actually the... oh, there's a deep shot here that's possible. Unmarked. Disc flows so nicely. Those are not the easiest shots to do. No matter how free the receiver is, you still need to get it there, and you need to get it there quickly enough that the Paris players can't close it down. Lovely shot, lovely awareness. That makes it 4-2 and a second break in a row for Amsterdam. Benoit Berthet throwing to Lindsay Bradley, making it 4-2 Amsterdam in the white, to the 2 of Paris, who have now used one of their timeouts as well. They're down 2 breaks in a row. As a reminder, it was 2-1 to Paris on trading. Trading kept it to 2-2. Now it is 4-2 to the Netherlands, to Amsterdam. We do not reach 8 points by 35 minutes. A time cap will occur. We will see though how the game progresses as we have a pick call early on. Again, Paris favouring the horizontal stack. I think able to Take a little bit of a break. Get it inside, and then once that break is taken, it's continued down the line. Difficulty getting the first pass off, but once that break happened, and it was only a small break, the flow could continue. Ending with Scott Graber throwing to Adele Pulaliu to make it 3-4. Amsterdam had been on a 3-point-1, so that was very necessary for Paris. Now, a break of their own would bring the score level here. They would still be trading down, but would still do a lot to seize the early game nerves. It was a lovely, lovely little bit of flow there. Really good use of the space that opened up from that initial break. Paul goes up big, sits right the way back. And you can see Amsterdam only able to just about get out their end zone as a slightly low forehand is picked up by Peter Van Huysen and then flung all the way across the field. In a very deep play. Initially, just a deep stack initially, I should clarify. Amsterdam not wanting to play a huge amount of small ball when they're near their own end zone. A break shot, slightly fumbled there, but eventually held. And the hammer comes out, and it is scored. Arnie Spoelstra scoring to Peter Van Huysen, I believe. And that makes the score 5 to Amsterdam, 3 to Paris. Amsterdam in the white. Always fun to get a hammer score. Even if sometimes you feel like a backhand may have done the job. In fact, with that assist of Spoelstra to Van Huysen, that brings them both to 2 stats for this game. They're the first ones to break the 1 stat barrier. Everything else evenly spread so far as another pull goes up into the end zone from Amsterdam. Paris with just the 1 pass able to get it slightly outside their own end zone. Just dishing it off. Setting up the upfield flow. Viola Injo with the disc now, managing to get the disc away. Very loose mark there from Amsterdam for a couple of seconds, and again. And disc goes up. Is it? It's just short of the end zone. Let's see here what Paris's end zone set is. Like it's a simple vertical stack aimed to generate space at the sides of the end zones. Paris put it in, making it 4-5. 5 to Amsterdam in the white, 4 to Paris in the blue. Or 5 to AUC, 4 to PUC if you prefer. Getting us back with a few holds in a row. Julian Gabriel to Baptiste Bouffinon. some scores from the doors around the other games happening right now. We have Hux of Berlin on 5 against 4 for RJP. AUT B-Fire on 3 versus 5 for Zoo. And Zimmer and Sun is 8-3 to Zimmer. That one's the only Grandmasters game of the set. So we are seeing at least one game reaching half. All the other games fairly even. Finding around just like this one here, which is 5 to Amsterdam, 4 to Paris. Amsterdam with the disc now. They are a point. Break up. They take a shot to the end zone. What a lovely bit of vision. What a lovely flick there to make the score 6-4. Arnis Balestra with the assist again. Bringing him up to 3 assists. Kelsey Wentling with the goal. They do really like that horizontal space with vertical space behind. I think it does mean that Paris have to be constantly switched on for that shot. It does also mean that Arnis Balestra has assisted half of Amsterdam's goals so far. And curiosity may take the better of me here. No, in actual fact, in the first game, they were quite spread across the board, and so it's not the case of one player giving them all of the assists this tournament. It's just more these having a great game. See, a bit of a poachy set, the far handler being left by Amsterdam. It's a D there. Could have been Esteban Boa of Amsterdam. Shot goes up big for the break. Just shy of the end zone. But a great grab. They're knocking on the door. And enough cycling later. The disc goes in. Eric Hora with the assist there to Georgi Nagioka. That makes the score 4-7. 4-7. 4 to Paris, 7 to Amsterdam, or 4 to PUC, 7 to AUC. As it looks like we're getting a timeout, and I think not an unsensible thing to do here. Or, sorry, that is a sensible thing to do here. I should avoid my double negatives on foreign language streams. You see Paris here seeking to regroup for a second. And we thank you for joining us here on this stream. The score is currently 7 to Amsterdam in the white versus 4 to Paris in the blue. In fact, we saw a break in that last point from Amsterdam. A little bit of coordinated poaching, I will say. I know it can have a little bit of negative connotation sometimes to use the word poaching, but it's like sagging off of players that are unlikely to be thrown to in order to clog up the lane. And responded with a spicy flick up the field to just shy of the end zone to a more sensible shot in. Pull goes up big. It's not landed yet. And it's just about landed deep in the end zone. Amsterdam have chased it down. Paris were forced to play out of their own end zone there. A high release backhand escape. And the disc is unable to be saved by Scott Graber there. And it's a backhand break from Stephen Chang, which appears to maybe have been just shy of the end zone, but lovely low pivot, lovely shot, and it is accepted for the goal. It looks like, well, no, there was a goal symbol. I'll hold that my deliberations for a second. And it appears like it certainly was. Stephen Chang to Jennifer Joyner will take us into half. It is 8 to Paris. 8 to Amsterdam in the white, 4 to Paris in the blue. Or 8 to AUC, 4 to PUC. We'll join you again for the second half. Just to bring everyone back up to speed, you join us in this game at the European Masters Ultimate Club Championship in the mixed division. It is 8 to AUC, Amsterdam Ultimate Club, in the white, 4 to PUC, Parisian Ultimate Club, in the blue. That is 8-4 to AUC versus PUC. Both teams did lose their earlier game against Ultimate, which means that given the structure where it is 9-team tournament, 3 pools are free, and then an upper power pool are free, a middle power pool free, and a lower power free. You really don't want to be in that lower power pool because there's no way back up to the semi-final once you get there. There's only one space in that middle power pool in the top 4 as well, so it is a bit of a rough format here. But if you want to be in that semi-final, you need to win this game in front of you here. It's worth saying that these two teams did meet at the World Mixed Ultimate Club Championships in 2022 in Limerick for the 17-18 game. It was the final game, and it ended up as a 15-7 win to PUC, who take the pool there. Rolling pool as well that will allow them to set up on the sideline. So Paris won that game at the World Masters Ultimate Club Championships. Here though we see Amsterdam up 8-4, seeking a little bit of revenge. We see Casey Grow pick up the disc and just going back and forth. Scuba intercepted, and one pass shot to the end zone. You have the feeling Paris, PUC, very happy about that. exactly the type of way you want to start. And so there are a few breaks down at this point, but that is the first break that PUC have managed. Makes the score 8-5 to Amsterdam still, but 3-point lead is less scary than a 4-point lead. Scott Graber with the, I believe, the block and the assist. Alice Samarco with the score. We've actually had quite a few clean holes. No more than one turn a point since the 6th. And for those keeping track, we're now on the 14th, so that's a good string where there's only been one turn or fewer. Teams are being more clinical now. We've reached the stage where they've got their groove. We see a huge flick go across. Will it be too far? It will be. Leonard Dupuy is tall, but not that tall. There's a PUC looking to respond with a second break after half. Can they do it? Apologies, it was Stephanie Berthet for AUC who tried to make the grab on the edge. See the high backhand to the end zone, right on the edge, but scores on the edge are still scores. That will make it 6-8. Let me get this right. Jean Francis Diatella throwing to Zachary Ailes. And it appears like a timeout has now been called as well. You sort of feel that 2 breaks out of the half, timeout can be a good idea, either for AUC to say, hey, what's happening? Let's stop this. Or for Paris to give their D-line a rest, very crucially. They've just played 2 points in a row. They'll be wanting to keep on that roll, keep coming out strong. Paris with the slightly smaller squad as well. I believe it is 20 players to the 25 of Amsterdam. Again, as a reminder, the score is 6-8. 6 to Paris, 8 to Amsterdam. But it was 4-8 at half. 2 breaks in a row coming out. Yes, Paris did start on defense coming out of the half. Brings us into a much tighter game right now. Can Paris, PUC in the blue, keep it up? Paul goes up roughly to brick mark level. Quick pass taken to get Amsterdam 10 metres shy of the halfway before any defence were there, and now they've swung around to the halfway line. Curtis Clement throwing the disc forward. Stephen Chang finding good space in the middle. Nice little flow here from Amsterdam. Can they get the easy goal, soothe their nerves after 2 Parisian breaks? Curtis Clement with the lefty backhand to the end zone. That is a much needed goal for Amsterdam. Makes it 9 to Amsterdam, AUC 6 to PUC to Paris. Certainly a fair bit of pressure. Wasn't necessarily the easiest of goals. You know, sort of a 10-ish pass point. but maybe not the pressure of some of the previous points as well. We'll see the switch around now. Can Paris hold? It was Curtis Clement to Kelsey Wentling for the goal there for Amsterdam. Disc goes up big on the pull from Amsterdam. Will set right into their end zone. Amsterdam on the chase as well, so Paris able to get to the front of the end zone and a little bit beyond before the defense managed to catch up at the start. Backhand break up the field. Flick goes up big, but Amsterdam are ahead of it. Really good body positioning there from the defender. You have the option of running straight towards the disc or running slightly ahead of the PUC player, not causing a collision, very crucially, but blocking the shortest path between the Parisian player and the disc, so you're guaranteeing the turn without having to get a hand on the disc. Hey, another big floaty flick there from Amsterdam. Back an inside shot. They're opening up the deep space. But probably a sensible holster there from Suzanne Delwell. We see her here. And just staying back, letting the vertical stack cycle up the field. The big shot goes up. What a lovely shot from Joji Nagaoka. I think noticing that the Parisian player, while fairly tight, had slacked off slightly. Whereas the AUC player was accelerating, meaning that if the disc was placed well enough, and it had to be a well-placed disc, it could sit nicely into the hands of the man with the longest name on the team, Rick Bosch van Drijkstein. That makes it 10 to Amsterdam AUC in the white versus 6 for PUC Paris in the blue. The 2-point roll at the start of the half by Paris responded with a 2-point roll by AUC. That timeout they took at 8-6 proving to be quite necessary to reset the momentum in this game. Again, I am keeping a small eye on the chat. Please feel free to mention there if you're supporting someone or if you're having any issues, and we'll come to you right away. Just goes up from Amsterdam. Again, it's 10-6 currently. That 4-point lead is restored. And another disc goes up big. It will be contested. Stephen Chang versus Jeremy Poupineau. In the end, I feel the back of the end zone was probably the limiting factor in that shot. AUC have been quite clinical so far, though. He says as a low forehand is saved. The flick goes up, though. No Parisian player near, but is it too far? It is just about too far. We have our first double turnover point for a while. Again, it's one of those things that even when a player is free with separation, if they're already quite far deep, you have to throw it with a lot of power so that the defender can't catch up, because a throw with too much hang time will give the defender a chance to make a bid. Throwing it over half pitch with that accuracy can be difficult at times. PUC then given another chance to hold as another disc goes up big. We're only seeing discs over half the field, and it is intercepted. What a lovely catch, and then quick move of the disc as well, getting it flowing. Amsterdam able to get the disc up to way past halfway, another 20 metres from where the initial D was. You can see the hammer in the eyes. We're getting to a high stall count here. Scuba bailout option is taken. And now just working it up the line. After 3 long shots in a row, Amsterdam taking a fourth. Why not? Well, it can be quite difficult, and that was quite a contested throw. That is another turn. Believe it was Jennifer Joyner with the D for Amsterdam originally, and then just a overthrow there. Out of the side of the end zone. Someone doing a nice cut to the corner, but throwing from 20, 25 metres away. It's a hard shot to hit. And it appears like a timeout is taken. There's been 4 turnovers in a point. That's not a... That's quite a sensible thing to do. Chance to re-steady. The other timeout of the half was taken by AUC, so both teams still have 1 timeout left. It's currently 10-6 to AUC. Hello, hello. The teams have had a small break now to regather themselves in the midst of this quite long point. I've had a water refill. I'm Harry Mason, and I'm here to bring you into the latter stages of AUC of Amsterdam in the white versus PUC Paris in the blue. It is currently 10-6 to Amsterdam in the white, but Paris have the disc. Taking a timeout on their own corner, which will allow Amsterdam a chance to set up a potentially quite tough defense. So far at this point, we've seen quite a few long shots. Both teams already played a game today. Vienna is quite warm. We see a bit of a low sun in the sky as well. Play restarts. Paris able to get it off the sideline and progress it up the field. Ottomand able to get the disc to Jeremy Poupinon. And it appears as though there might be a pick call here. Leonard Dupuy centers the disc. As there is another call up the field. It appears as if there's a small bit of a contact discussion, working out who is responsible. Disc comes back in, instantly swung. Dupuy swinging in to Torrieri, to Dupuy. Torrieri, find Hammond. Over a round break. right to the edge. Again, after 2 Amsterdam points in a row, 1 hold and 1 break, a necessary point as Roord Hamond scores to Scott Graber in a 7-minute 45-second point, including the timeout, of course, but certainly a draining one. After the timeout, though, PSC scoring without another turn, so able to steady themselves. Both teams still with 1 more timeout. PUC of Paris actually, in fact, looking to take all 4 timeouts they're allotting. You're allowed 2 per half. They took the 2 in the first half. They've taken 1 so far here. Paris now 7-10 down with the pull against Amsterdam in the white. Horizontal stack to open up space. Peter Van Huysen throws it up the line. Jotanja. Curtis Clement. Tova Huysen. And now we're seeing Flo get a little bit stifled when it gets over to that side and the numbers get a bit harder to read. Shot is taken though. The Huysen to Windler. Windler had been working in amongst the handlers as well at that point. Sort of 4 players definitely dominating the flow in that one. Nice and simple goal though. Making it 11 to Amsterdam AUC in the white versus 7 PUC Paris in the blue. Apologies if they tend to go by Park. I'm familiar with AO Puck, the similar mixed team. I believe is actually going to EUCF this year. They are calling themselves Puck though there as well, or PUC. We'll see a lot of these players from the Parisian team at EUCF, I'm sure. Hear the wind getting a little bit stronger. A low flick saved there. Knocking on the end zone. Not able to get the shot in from the corner, so able to recycle it backwards. Backhand taken and saved with a little bit of a grab from Pupino. See it backwards to Hamand. And the floaty backhand from Torrieri is taken down by Adele Pulalio, making the score 8-11. Tends to happen, what happened earlier on after a very long point with a couple of turnovers from each team. Timeout is taken, actually by Paris in both cases. Point is then scored and the next few points are just trading as both teams settle down a little bit. able to work in the offences. We are an hour into our game now. As a reminder, it is 70 minutes before we reach the cap. When the cap occurs, the point will finish. And then one will be added to the score. That is the total they must reach. Reminder, both of these two teams need to win to get themselves into the middle power pool with a chance at the top 4. A rolling pool there. Another one from PUC. We've seen those a little bit before. Some big wide swings taken from Amsterdam. And the big shot is taken. But D'd out of the air by Julian Gabriel. I believe Florence Windler was the target. Just, a little bit unfortunately, he may have landed a bit awkwardly there. The turnover will stand. I will use this time to instead update you on the scores on the doors for some of the other games. Zimmer have won their game against Sun 13-7 in the Grand Masters decision. B-Fire up 9-6 against Zoo. And I believe Zoo were up earlier. And Hux are 11-7 up against RJP. Possible, I think we'll take a small break here.
There's a guy coming. He's coming.
Hello there, just if you are joining us, there's been an injury on the field, so we'll keep with our faded out. The stream is not quite over just yet. It is 11 to AUC, 8 to PUC, so 11 to Amsterdam, the team that will be shown in white, 8 to PUC of Paris, the team that will be shown in blue. Paris indeed just got the D, but sadly may have suffered a slight injury in doing so. So, in order to respect the player, we will keep on this screen, but I will keep talking you through, letting you know that we are in still live. We can hear, in fact, the applause from the players from both teams. It is a long tournament. Paris have 20 players total versus Amsterdam's 25, and so can't suffer too many injuries. As we see Jeremy Tahar, it looks like, come onto the field as the injury replacement. And it's 11-8, Paris with the disc in blue. Disc goes up big. Looks like it might be a little bit too far for Ange Lily Margerin. Not able to make the best use of that block then, although sending Amsterdam right back to their own end zone. And the shot goes up to the end zone. Casey Guo with a lovely backhand lead there to make the score 12 to Amsterdam AUC in the white versus 8 for Paris PUC in the blue. Casey Guo to Florence Windler. I could be wrong here, and I hope I am, but that could be our first female assist this game as well. It's a very nice shot up the line though, sort of 20 meters, maybe 15, I would say. And to place it, you can hear there's a bit of wind as well. Just get it to sit up for the player to run onto. No need to out-contest the opposition. Very nice shot indeed. Deep pull, but Paris managed to get a pass out, so they're not caught in their own end zone. And a turn. Feels like an unforced error there. And seeing the vert stack of Amsterdam as they try to open up the field with continuations. Continuation wasn't there, and then it was. And then a scuba to the end zone. Oh, Rick Bosch van Drakestein. What a cheeky scuba that was. Taken down by Vasek Petrick to make the score 13 to Amsterdam, 8 to Paris. Another break. Gotta wonder whether that might take the sting a little bit out of the game compared to where we were just a few moments ago with 11-8 with Paris with the disc. We are on a female matching player point for the next two. You see the hand signals of the arms straight out to indicate to use majority female matching players. As the pull goes up, again we see the horizontal stack. And Scott Graber with a nice progression pass up the field to Diola Inje, who shoots to the end zone. Excellent little goal there. Quick response. And Leonor Dupuy with the score. And with that score, actually over half now. It was 10 out of 20. Now it's 12 out of 20 of PUC have either a score or an assist. In fact, no player from either team has more than 3. So fairly well spread out. Paris will need a break here. They are 13-9 down.
And Amsterdam playing on the edge. Potentially a little bit of contact there. The ankle of Kelsey Wentling. We'll just take a moment as the Brazilian player just come off the field. It's taking a second, not a major injury it looks like, but certainly a precautionary one. And now it looks like there's discussion about in or out of the line. I have to say, I was wondering that myself. There is a chance it could be a force out where the contact from the other player forced them out, but doesn't necessarily feel so with the feet. A couple of players on the sideline who are signaling they've got an opinion, but we are reaching near the time, and it appears that they are agreeing a turn. So, it's a big point, despite the foul or the contact occurring. The feet being out of bounds. Oh, I think they were wanting a pause just for the injury substitute to return to the field. Very reasonable there. And very good spirit there from Kelsey Wentling as well. Picked up by Tazio Toreri and just instantly thrown inside to Yael Mihum. And now a few passes on. Zachary Ailes with the disc. Throwing forward again, playing with the sideline a little bit there. Pass now on the end zone, looking for this break. Having to take a better option just to reset it. And a D. And what a D. An instant sprint long as well. Oh no, and a miscommunication there. Xenia Radenko just not seeing the disc as it comes. And the disc goes up, and that's another turn. And a timeout taken. I think a sensible decision. We've had a couple of turnovers at this point. AUC taking some time, maybe also just to see out the clock, although I think we might even be at time at this point. Just taking a short break to reset themselves. If you are joining us here, it is 13 to Amsterdam to AUC in the white, 9 to PUC, Paris in the blue. It has been a long point indeed, so I believe the cap has gone during this point, so the point will be finished, and then one will be added to the high score, although I think there may also be a 15-minute hard cap. We've seen this before when there's been a few turnovers from each team. One of the teams takes a timeout. And then in previous times, they've scored instantly after this timeout. Well, they've scored within that possession after the timeout. We'll see if the same happens here. Plays live. And a lovely little bit of flow up the field to a big swing flick. Love that diagonal. I'm a big fan of diagonal throws, and we saw a lovely one there. Opening up the field, making it 14 to AUC versus 9 of PUC. Florence Windler there. Has got a few goals already, getting herself an assist. Throwing to Esther Den Boer. So 14-9, game to 15. Call me a professional analyst, but you have to favour Amsterdam in this situation. With that said, Paris did go on that 2-point break right after half. It's a question of whether they can do so again. As the pool goes up big into the end zone, Paris able to take an initial pass before the defence get there. And we see a little bit of tasty defence there. Benoit Berthet just stepping off to block that initial pass. But there's been a call up the field. As a shot goes up big. Is it too big? No, it's not. Floats. Lovely float there from Scott Graber. Throwing up the line to Adele Poulalio to make it 14-10. Paris getting themselves into double digits. Always an important thing. This is the thing, those big shots have seemed to be open as options this game, but in heat at the end of a long day, and sometimes we have some tight defence as well, has been a little bit too difficult to execute at points. So that was allegedly the easy job Paris had, which was to hold their offense. Last few points have been held. Now they need to break out to the end of the game. Amsterdam, though, not keen to let that happen, as I have to say Kelsey Wentling's feet came dangerously close to the sideline there. The Amsterdam flow has been stopped by Paris initially as they take a big backhand shot to the end zone, taken down for the score and, more importantly, the game. Amsterdam winning this one 15-10 with another lovely diagonal. We saw Amsterdam take a few of those actually. As, again, I think it was Florence Windler who took the last one, takes another one there to Xenia Rudenko, seeing out the game 15 to AUC of Amsterdam in the white versus 10 of PUC of Paris in the blue. That will see Amsterdam going to the middle power pool. Be a 4-6 bracket. The team that wins that middle power pool will have a chance to go up to the top 4. Paris PUC, sadly, in the bottom power pool, seeking only for seeding then before going into the 5-9 reconciliation brackets. This is the European Masters Ultimate Club Championships. I've been Harry Mason. Been a pleasure to be commentating.